Hi. This video is about one of the best, if not the best, museums in Georgia. It's the Ethnography Museum in Tbilisi. And boy, it's really good. I'm at Tbilisi Ethnographic Museum. It's an open-air museum and it displays examples of folk architecture and craft work from different regions of Georgia. It is essentially a historic village, related by buildings moved here from all territorial subdivisions of Georgia. It was opened in 1966 and consists of more than 70 buildings and more than 8,000 items total. And it has a goat.
Hello. Hey there. Hello. Hello.
I think she was nervous because of the rain. This house famous for its story. The guy who lived there, he fell in love with an Italian girl, but his family said no, you can't marry her because you're Georgian and nationalism and all that crap. And he was so upset he became a monk and lived as a monk for the rest of his life. And every year he came to that house for like 3 days, but he didn't speak to anyone. He just sat in the attic and prayed, and other people couldn't touch him or talk to him, so they just sent him food by putting it in some kind of a jar or a basket, and he took the food and ate it and then went away for a whole year. So it's really good actually, basically like a village with different buildings and you can walk around. Nothing too fancy or spectacular, but I really think it captures the essence of Georgia. It was kind of lost after the Soviet invasion and so captures the essence of a country that's long gone now, and it's pretty cool. A lot of foreigners here, mostly Russians, Ukrainians, so basically people from the ex-Soviet Union countries, which is a shame because I don't think this museum is really all that popular among foreigners, and I don't think a lot of people know about it, but I think it's a must visit. These things are called kvevari, and they are basically jars for wine making, and they make wine in them. Actually, there's a house here that shows the wine making process, and let's go check it out. There it is. And it's closed. I think it's just bad timing because of the rain and rain. I don't think anybody was expecting that it would rain today, so yeah, not me for sure. Way too slippery from all of the mud. Because the winemaking cellar house is closed, we're not gonna see the winemaking process, not this time at least. I have to get back to showcase it, but at least we can take a look at the kvevari, the wine jars that are traditional in Georgia. And here they are, buried in the ground. You can only see the tops, and basically there's a huge jar inside of the ground, and it stays in the ground the whole time. So they pour the grape juice in there and wait for it to ferment, and then they take it out with simple and primitive tools, and that's it. The jar stays in the ground at all times. Definitely. And this thing behind me is used for making cha-cha. Cha-cha is the Georgian version of grappa. It's kind of like a vodka distillate, but with a strong grapish flavor. It's made from leftovers that were left over after making the wine, and yeah, it's basically a grappa. It's basically a hard, like 40% free liquor. The open-air Ethnography Museum is secluded, I should say. The air is really fresh, and you can think of it as a park, and it's a great park. It's probably the best park in Georgia, or in Tbilisi, at least the best park in Tbilisi. Yeah, definitely bad timing, as everything is closed and you can't actually see a lot of these houses from the inside, which is half of the attraction of the museum, but it's still pretty good. All this serene country house lifestyle showing around, showing how simple yet charming Georgia is in general. I think the museum, this village made up from different houses from different parts of the country, different regions, shows stereotypical yet also typical Georgian country house lifestyle, and it captures the mood and the vibe of the country. Actually, come to think of it, style in general, architecture reminds me a lot of Russia and Ukraine, which is extremely interesting, partly because Georgia is so close to Turkey, Iran, Azerbaijan, and all these other countries and regions that have an Eastern kind of lifestyle, mindset, and yet this is kind of like Eastern Europe instead of the Middle East. Interesting to see it from this perspective, because come to think of it, there's a lot of these Eastern European vibes, and yet Georgia is pretty much the Middle East. It's close to all the Muslim eastern kind of countries. So yeah, partly because it's Christian, I guess, but also partly because it was under the Russian Empire and Russian influence for so long. Period of the 19th century, built in the middle period of 19th century. The views.
I can see my house from here. There it is. Yup, and the flying saucer.
Actually, one of the most interesting houses, in my opinion at least, is located kinda far away from the main exhibition and from the main road, but it's worth a detour. You'll see why. Yeah, here it is.
Century.
17th century.
From South Georgia. This walls is built without any cement.
No cement, just stones.
Yes. And the dome is built without nails. The light falls from here was of her grandfather. Here were sleeping all the members of the family on the long bed.
Together.
Yes. Now they are to the secret exit, please. This is the original house.
Oh wow, from 17th century.
Yes.
Nice. Near Turkey.
So, according to the guide, this whole house was built under the ground to hide from Turkish people. I think because it was from a region near Turkey, and there were some tensions in the 17th century, as far as I understand, and these were underground houses with a secret passage to run away from the building, from the house, if somebody attacked it. The entrance is very low for a reason as well, to prevent attackers from entering the house too quick. Also crazy that all the family members slept on one bed, and the bed was actually just like a slab of stone, and all of them were sleeping on the slab of stone together, except from the patriarch and the matriarch. The grandfather and the grandmother were sleeping in a different room, also on a slab of stone, but closer to the emergency exit. I was told that there's a 6th century church nearby, and dull man. I've never seen them before, even though it's my 3rd time to Ethnography Museum, so Hopefully I'll find them today and show them to you. Oh, there they are. Yep. Bingo. Some New Age Christian memorabilia. If it really dates 6th century BC, I'm not that sure that it was originally a Christian site, maybe more like a pagan site or a church made by some people of another religion. I'm not sure, I might be wrong, but I might be right. Still, it's pretty cool. Megalithic period. How cool is that? How old is that? Oh, I'm speechless. It's amazing. I believe I've never been to this part of the museum before. Really great museum. Once again, I'm blown away by how cool it is, especially in Georgia, where there's just not a lot of good museums in general, so this one is really, really good. So I've arrived at Vake Park. It's near the Ethnography Museum. It was opened in 1946 in the place of a wasteland. The middle part of the park is a typical fancy Soviet show-off, yet the outskirts became a planned arboretum. It was called the Victory Park during Soviet times, and it has a World War II victory statue over there.
There it is. The statue is 28 meters high.
Let's take a walk and take a look around. The park is empty because it's raining, but the weather is nice. A lot of bushes, a lot of greenery. Pretty nice. But yeah, it feels really, really Soviet, really, like grand and hopeless at the same time. Really Soviet. I'm gonna attempt and climb up to the statue. I will not enjoy it at all, especially considering that my feet are wet from the rain and the water. See you at the top. I made it! There it is! And that's it for today. I'm just too tired to do anything else. Oh, I hated this climb. Oh.